still plugging this in with an extension cord. I have power over here now. Okay, I am just kind of getting things ready for a not great task that I have to do. Clear a spot to put all my bags of concrete. Well, not concrete, but self-leveler. I made some phone calls to see if I could get someone else to do this. And a reminder or explanation for those of you who are not caught up. Right here, this 5-foot strip of concrete is really sunken this way to a point that is like beyond just leveling furniture with legs. It's especially bad right here. It's probably a 2-inch drop over 5 feet and you can feel it. So this needs to be topped up with some concrete built up, and none of the concrete places I talked to wanted to do it. They don't like doing resurfacing or topping because it really isn't the best way to do it. They want to bust it out and re-pour, which I get, but I didn't want to spend the $6,000 or more to do that, and I didn't want the disruption. So I am going with the self-leveler. Even though it's not necessarily the best way to do it, it's a good enough way to do it. But that means I'm going to be doing it myself. So yeah, yesterday I ordered 25 bags of self-leveler, 50-pound bags. They're getting delivered at some point today. And I need a space to carry them in and bring them, and a space to mix them so that I can pour all of this. I mopped this a bunch of times last night. I'm going to have to put down the primer, which I still have to go buy today. So basically paint the floor with a primer that's designed to help that self-leveler bond. And then I'll have to wait like overnight till the next day to actually start pouring this. And I can't pour it all in one go because you don't want to pour this stuff more than 1/2 inch thick at a time, or it can cause all sorts of problems curing. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. I also finished framing the bulkhead. Picked up some lumber yesterday and did that. So the only framing left to do is right in front of me here, this little closet, but I got to wait till this floor is done. I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how I'm going to arrange this new space. And it's a little bit tricky because I'm not making a gaming room. I'm not making a crafting room. I'm not making like a YouTube studio. I'm making all three of those things together in one space. And in my previous space, I mixed those things the best I could, but it was like a natural progression over time. You know, I would adjust stuff, and I'd like to do as little adjusting of this space over time as possible. Although I am going into it, trying to keep things sort of modular in a way so that I can adapt as I learn what I need and want. But I got to figure out all the different zones, and I want to keep certain things together, like creative building things together, finished gaming things together, more YouTube-y, computer-y, techy things together in separate zones. And they all require different kinds of shelving and storage and tables, some of which works in certain spaces, some that doesn't. And it's a little bit confusing. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put my computer there up against the wood wall right under the bulkhead because I think that's like the coziest spot. It's also the wall I want to cover the least with shelving. So I want to keep like more like low desk stuff. In the corner over there, adjacent to the computer, that's probably where I'll put some bookshelves with like my books and stuff like that. And then beside it, there, somewhere in that corner, is going to be like 3D printer, airbrush stuff with venting. And then this wall here, I don't know, like, I guess that might be where finished terrain goes. But the thing is, I'm going to put the gaming table and / crafting table here in this area. So for the most part, this will be the wall behind me for shooting. Although one of the things about this space that I'm looking forward to is being able to easily shoot from all directions. But I don't really want to cover up this entire wall with shelves. Also, there's these angle iron brackets that are projecting out of the wall, so I can't put shelves right up against it. But point of story is I want to have like lower shelves there. So I don't know how it's going to work out. I will say that I'm going to paint the ceiling black, but I'm not going to paint any of the walls black like the last studio. These are all going to get painted white, with the exception of like the metal brackets and whatnot. I want to try to keep this room a little bit brighter. However, you can paint your walls white, but once you start putting bookcases in and stuff, it quickly turns things dark. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do this. I think it'll be a bit of a slow process moving things in, seeing how they feel a little bit at a time. But I do know that I want a bigger table for crafting and playing games. I want possibly a secondary table for just keeping stuff on the go. I want to have plenty of room to hold supplies and tools. I want to have plenty of room to like hold and display finished pieces. I want a place for the airbrush. I want a place for 3D printers. I want a place to set up the laser cutter that I have yet to use. I want a place to set up various just regular office printers and Cricut and all that kind of stuff. I want everything to be really ergonomic. Usually I'm really good at like pre-planning this sort of stuff in my head, but I am struggling a bit here. That's okay though. We're just going to keep getting things done and eventually move in and go from there. One thing I do know is that these open joists are going to be a great place to store rolled up battle mats.